on the Sherry Lord Talk Show podcast. Start your day off with a higher vibrational podcast with weekly guests covering spirituality, healthy foods, and so much more. Go to SherryLord.com for more info. Welcome, everyone. Good morning. I'm your influencer host, Sherry Lord. Thank you for joining us this morning. We also have paid advertisements, so book your special event or products with us. Go to www.sherrylord.com. And we are so excited. We have a very special guest, Jennifer Passavant. And her topic today is how healers heal and the importance of doing your own inner work. And Jennifer is a holistic healer who, by remotely offering the unique variety of modalities of intuitive spiritual life coaching, health coaching, and her exclusive modality of channeled healings, provide the opportunity of transformation on all levels for a holistic healing experience that's specific for your needs. She is amazing. You guys will love her. Tune into her because we're going to scroll her information on the bottom here so that you can connect with her or get a hold of her however you during this session, or go to our website, www.sherrylord.com, and you will get her information. We have a link for her, but you definitely are going to want to have a beautiful session with her. And she's also going to be giving away a mini healing session. So the lucky person today, you will not be disappointed because she is good. She is extremely good at what she does. So, and we're also going to scroll her information and her website below. Welcome, Jennifer. We're so happy to have you.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here. I appreciate the invitation.
Yeah, and your topic is excellent because there's a lot of people, even the healers have to evolve. I mean, to me, it's always an unfoldment. You're always got some levels. When you go to a level, you're going to go to another level. Sometimes there's a clearing that needs to be done. That's been my experience. Mm-hmm. And how healers heal and the importance of doing your own inner work. That is an excellent topic. And what would you like to share with us about that and more about your experiences and how you got to where you are and tools for our audience?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and we've got that's a lot of ground to cover. So my goodness, we've got an hour. So I'll back up to the beginning and say, well, first, let me say that, so as you said, I'm a holistic healer. And what that means is I provide the synergistic variety of sessions where it's intuitive spiritual life coaching, health coaching, which works on the physical body. And then for spirit, it's it's all levels really, but my modality is called Channeled Alchemical Healing. And the reason why it's called that, this was given to me by the beings that I channel. And I guess I should go into that now. I channel a seraph angel, and seraphim is the highest realm of angelic choirs.
Yeah.
Just underneath Elohim, which is just underneath Source. He's actually an ascended Arcturian. And so I had to learn to shift my understanding and perspective of what makes an angelic being, and shift my understanding of what it means to be in the spiritual hierarchy. I had to expand my perspective there. And I also channel the Ascended Master Kuan Yin, who is the Buddhist goddess of compassion and mercy. And together they work through my physical body. So they're connected to me, and they come into the back of my heart chakra to move me to work on people's chakras and energetic fields. And we find their wounds, their issues, their challenges, because oftentimes people are unaware of really what subconsciously they're operating from and how it's impacting their daily lives, their daily relationships. But my guides have worked with me to show me how to not only help myself become aware of my wounds, issues, and challenges and how they present. And I will tell you that is not an easy or fun process. And then how to help others find those things, but also how to reprogram the subconscious mind. And so that's where the inner work comes in. And so when it comes to the inner work, and I hate to make this a Reader's Digest version, because if we could go more deeply into it, it would be I think, helpful for the viewers. But it's really about learning those tools and techniques on how to reprogram the subconscious mind. But the reason why I felt this topic was so important is because so many people approach energy healers with the idea of, you do the healing for me.
Mhm.
I can't heal myself, so I want you to do it for me, and I'm giving my power over to you, and I'm taking away all of my own responsibility for doing all of my inner work. You just do it for me like you're Jesus. And that's just not how healing works. Energy healers only provide the opportunity for healing, right? We facilitate the movement of energy, but it is up to the client, it is up to the individual to then do their own inner work in order to ensure that those energy shifts that we facilitated stay permanent. Because otherwise, if you don't do the inner work and treat the actual cause of the issue, those energies are going to go right back to the way they were in the beginning. And so if you find yourself as a client, I'm speaking to the viewers here, healer hopping, it's because you're giving the power to the healer to do the work for you, but then you're not actually looking at what caused those energetic issues in the first place, be they mental, emotional, spiritual, or physical, and then be taught how to shift them permanently by reprogramming the subconscious mind, because that is where we carry those wounds, issues, and challenges that can manifest mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or physically. Does that make sense? That was a very Reader's Digest version, but hopefully the viewers.
No, I think it's really good. People really need to understand, and I think the importance of doing your own inner work. I think this is important, and we want to say thank you to Kathy and Brenda who are chatting. And anybody that chats, you are in the drawing to win her mini healing session. So make sure you say hi. Make sure you let us know you're here. No, that was really good. So what are some of the techniques? I mean, when you say heal yourself, do your own work, what do you suggest to people to get started who may not know nothing about this and this is new to them?
Yes. Well, I'm gonna back that up a little bit, because the first step really is becoming aware of what the wounds are,
Right.
and being able to, you have to make the unconscious conscious, right? You can't heal it if you don't know that it exists. And so that comes into doing your shadow work, but not everyone, we all have our own blind spots, right? And so for me, one of my jobs as the intuitive spiritual life coach and the channeled alchemical healer is helping people to see what the wounds are and how they're expressing and how they're impacting, so that people go, oh my God, I didn't even put my childhood wounding with my mother. I did not connect it to my issues with my current female boss. You know, they've got those blind spots. And once you can see it, then it's like, okay, what's the core wound there? What lie have I allowed myself to believe about myself based on the childhood wounding? And it doesn't even have to be childhood wounding. Childhood wounding is more common and more typical, but you can have trauma and childhood wounding, or excuse me, you can have trauma and subconscious programming later in life. It's just typically more common that it's a start in childhood. You have to find then the core wound. What's the core lie? Is it, I'm not worthy of being loved? I'm not worthy of being seen and valued? I am not, what is it? And then how does that subconscious programming present? And also then, okay, so what's the truth though? What's the truth? Because then that truth is the starting point of reprogramming the subconscious mind. And that's where you go into meditation, you go into visualization. So the subconscious mind communicates using not so much words. In fact, it doesn't use words. Words are very conscious, right? But it works on feeling, vision, all of the how should I say this? All of the senses that are nonverbal. So like smell, feeling, right? So if you can use your imagination and you visualize, and also emotion, I should add, emotion is the number one thing. And that's true for manifestation. It's true for reprogramming the subconscious mind. Your emotional state is the number one important thing. If you pair the desired emotional state with the visualization of the version of you that is the healed version of you, and then you pair that with mentally, not outwardly, but mentally stating the affirmation while you feel the confidence, or you feel the self-love, you feel your body will shift into, rolling your shoulders down and back. You hold your head up high. You get a smile on your face. You might start giggling because you feel so joyful and excited, but those are the emotions you need. As you are mentally playing out in your mind, you operating as the healed version of you. And if you make that a daily practice just before you go to bed and just before you wake up, that goes a long way in showing your subconscious mind that new operating system, so to speak. Athletes often use this technique where, like, they're going to go compete, right? Let's say they're a shot putter. They will spend time in visualization, visualizing how they're gonna, make the initial run, what their body is gonna do in order to make a straight shot and get the most distance. How is their body going to feel when they're doing it? They make it visceral. They make it as real as humanly possible, right? And their brain, the subconscious mind, can't tell the difference between what's going on in here and what's going on out there. And so it's sort of like setting up the brain. You're programming the brain of, you're going to have all of my muscles and all of the rest of me and the universe conspire in the most positive way to have me do exactly what I'm seeing in my mind. So that's what you're doing when you do those things. The other thing is becoming so self-aware that you learn to recognize in the moment, or even just after the fact, of when you've operated from your wounded self. Because again, if you're not conscious of it, you can't stop it. So when you can go, dang, I just fell back into my wounded self. I was triggered. I operated from my wound. And I know that the lie that I operated from was this, but that the truth is that. And then you can do what's called revisioning. And this is taught by Neville Goddard, where you replay the scenario back over in your mind, just the way I described it before, where everything is very visceral, very real. And you replay it the way that it would have gone had you operated, had you responded from your healed aspect as opposed to your wounded aspect.
Yeah.
And I want to make it clear, there's a difference between revisioning in such a way where you replay it where the other person acted differently. That's not how this works. The idea is, let the person still say and do everything that they did initially that caused you to be triggered. The idea is to get you to change your response. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Because if it triggers you, it's yours. You got to look at it.
Exactly.
Yep. And we want to say thank you to, we got a Christina, Bonnie, Kathy.
Hi, Bonnie. I love you, Bonnie.
We love you guys. And I tell you what, you have such wealth information here, and we just want to hear more of what you'd like to share.
Oh, well, thank you. I'd like to explain alchemical healing and alchemical transformation. So, and if people go to my website, which is right there. If you go to my website, I do have a section in the Channeled Alchemical Healing section of my website, an area that explains what spiritual alchemy is. But I love you, Bonnie. But truly, spiritual alchemy is when you do that inner work and you transform yourself from your base metals, right? You transform yourself from your lower egoic self, that is the wounded aspect, and you transcend up to there we go. I'm back. Sorry.
I knew you would. It takes a second.
Okay. Finding what the wound is, and then again, seeing how it controls % of our daily lives. Our feelings, there we go. Our thoughts, feelings, beliefs, perspectives, everything. And so when you can see how it controls you, you then can start taking control of how you choose to respond. So that inner transformation starts with doing your inner work of seeing what the wounds are, and then learning how to operate differently. That's what alchemical transformation is.
Oh,
Sorry,
that's
did I get cut
beautiful.
off?
It's a great way to, no, we can hear you. We can hear you. It was a
Oh,
great
good.
way of
Okay, good.
explaining that. That is awesome. And I also like to say reprogramming your mind. You do have to reprogram. I know I went through a big clearing a couple of years ago, but I had to reprogram. And it's a big part. It's very important to do that. Mm-hmm. Very,
Yes.
very, very
And
important.
and I will say it takes time and dedication. It's not a one-off thing. It took time for those grooves to be ingrained into the spinning record player that's going on in your subconscious mind. And so it takes time and dedication and repetition to rewrite that. And so what I like about how my guides showed me how to assist people is, though I in the session say, I give them homework and I'll say, okay, these are the things that I want you to start doing. And ideally, then in a perfect world, they would hold themselves accountable to do the daily practice, to journal the outcome, to hold themselves accountable and keep track of their progress and do the work. But the work is hard. The work takes dedication. And so sometimes we can't always hold ourselves accountable because we would very easily just be like, I don't feel like it today. I'm tired, blah, blah, blah. And so I offer packages where people can utilize me as the sounding board, as the one who will hold them accountable. How did that go? How has that worked for you? Oh, that you find that doing it this way isn't working. Well, let's tweak it and we'll see about doing it this way. What changes are you seeing in your life because of these changes that you made? And just kind of helping them, like holding their hand through this process to ensure that the changes are in fact permanent. They can either do a one-off and do it themselves, or they can allow me to support them in a much more permanent shift and change.
Absolutely, because it is deep. I mean, some of the work you can kind of like is light, but some of it goes very, very deep. For me, if it's really deep, it might take me 2 or 3 days to go there because I know it is and I can feel it, but I do it, you know, and then I'm so glad I did it because it shifts and you actually see it in your life.
Yes.
You really see the shift. And I think this is huge.
And some people, it can take a month or two. I mean, it can be depending on the degree of wounding and the depth of it. It really depends. It's very dependent on the issue and the person and the degree to which it is impacting one's thoughts, beliefs, perspectives, and behaviors.
Absolutely.
And thank you, Bonnie, for your comment. I appreciate that.
How does the chakras play in all this too? I understand chakras, but there's a lot of people, it's more than what they think. It's not just a chakra. There's so much up with the chakras, you know?
Yes. Boy, I wish I had the piece of paper that showed this, but so chakras are portals of energy, right? Where we have where we on one level of our field and the etheric level, we have the dantians, the upper, middle, and lower dantian. Those are energy vessels. The chakras are portals. And so as we perceive ourselves as moving through linear time, energy comes in through the front of the chakra. And so long as we take our experiences transpersonally, the energy flows out the back. So if you were to look at a chakra from the side view, it would look like a portal, like a trumpet that comes out this way, and a trumpet that comes out this way. From the side view, they actually come, even though in the front it looks like a circle, they are not circles. And anytime you take something personally or there is a wound there, and you can, of course, bring those wounds in from previous lifetimes, and most of the time we do. And so the wounds that we then experience in this lifetime are reflections of wounds from previous lifetimes in order to create a degree of context in this one so that we can go, oh, I know this happened because my mom abandoned me at the age of 3 or whatever it is, right? It just creates a degree of context. But the chakras then hold those energies, they hold those wounds. And then, so this is where manifestation comes in. You know how a lot of people try to control their ability to manifest their reality. Like, I want to be in control. I don't want to experience bad things. I only want to experience good things. And so I'm going to stay positive all the time. And I'm only going to see these great things and my life's going to be fabulous. And then something non-preferred happens. It's not good. It's not bad, though they might disagree, but it's a non-preferred experience. And they're like, I didn't manifest this.
Yes, they did.
Yes, you did. And the way you manifested it is because it's sitting in your energetic field. That energy is in your chakric system. And those energies are still sending out signals to the universe of drawing to you experiences that will trigger that wound so that you can become aware of it and so that you can see it. So chakras are processors of energy in essence. And so long as energy continues to process energy through and back, your chakras are vital, they're clear, they're spinning appropriately. But when you get wounded and you get energy trapped in there, and I will also add that chakras can never be so blocked that it shuts down, because if it shut down, you'd be dead. So just want to clear that up for people. But if you get energy stuck there, it can start to lead to issues, but it can there we go, right? I'm back. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
The longer those energies sit there, the more dense they become. And so they can then become physical. And so you may find that you develop physical issues in that same area where you have stagnant energy and stuck energy in those chakras. So that's why I like to call them energy processors, because if it's not processing properly, it's like the energy is literally gumming up the works, so to speak.
Exactly. I mean, this is fantastic. Can you share some stories with us? Maybe something you would like to share, or something with one of your clients of how they've healed, how the importance of doing your own work is important?
Oh gosh. Yeah, I have a few, but one that comes in particular is a gentleman who I helped because he had mother wounding, and it was showing up not only still with his relationship with his mother, naturally, but also his romantic relationships, because oftentimes our most close relationships are the ones that reflect the deepest wounds, so that we can be forced to see it, right? And when we were working together, it took him a while to own how I really had to. So I don't spoon feed things to my clients, right? I'll know the answer, there we go, that I was intuitively given. And so I'll ask questions, and it took him a while to get to that phase of aha, like, oh,
got it.
Oh. And once he got to that phase, we could then start working together on, okay, my wife said this, or my mom did this, and I could feel that I was triggered. And so later I did the visualization, the affirmation, and then the next day we were able to have a more open and healed conversation to work through the issue. And then it was, I think, a month later we had another session, and he was saying, now our ability to communicate is so open that now they are owning their wounds and the way they contribute to the dynamic. And it really worked to kind of break down not only their own inner barriers, but in owning their own stuff and being able to talk about it with the people that they were triggered by, it inspired healing even in the other people that he was interacting with. And so in fact, he left a review on my website. If you go to my testimonials, he's written a review. I don't want to say his name, but just read the reviews. You'll read it, even if you don't know it. I don't want to give away his name. I'll let him do that in the review. But it really transformed the way he operated, quite literally, particularly within those relationships. He just wasn't the same person anymore. And so he was able to relax more and let his guard down and not feel like he had to walk on eggshells, and he wasn't taking things personally. And it just really shifted the way he operated. And I was really, really, really honored to be a part of that transformation, because it's that level of healing that is why I do what I do. It just blows my mind when I can see that degree of transformation in people. It's just an absolute honor. I'm just so blessed to be doing this.
No, you're excellent at what you do. I mean, there's a difference of being good, but you've been doing it long enough. You're actually excellent at what you do.
Thank
And
you.
that's a different level, and respect with that too. You are amazing. And I'm going to do the drawings because we have just a few more minutes. So, if you want to talk to everybody, you can. I'm going to pop out to do the drawings to see who our winner is for your wonderful mini session. We're going to go right there. I'm running it. You guys might be able to hear me, but it's running.
So a little bit about the mini session for the viewers. When I do in-person events, I typically, as a giveaway, offer a 20-minute mini session. And when I do in-person events, that's what I do, is just a little 20-minute taster. And it's a taster of the Channeled Alchemical Energy Healing process. And with that process always comes the intuitive spiritual life coaching, because the healing is really more about getting the energy moving and seeing where the wounds are and what they are, so that you're like, oh, geez, I didn't even realize that was still sitting there, or I didn't realize that was still an issue, right? But the life coaching bit is where we talk about how it's presenting in your life and then how to make the change. I can assure you that in 20 minutes, it's like real hard to get to make serious life changes, but at least you can see where we get a start. There's like a crack in the door. But that's really what the 20-minute Channeled Alchemical Healing is. And I will add, and this is just back to the main topic of doing inner work, I feel like it's imperative for people to work with healers, be it me or somebody even like Bonnie, because she does the same thing, who don't just do the energy healing. If you just do the energy healing, all that does is get the ball rolling, but it doesn't show you what's stuck, why it's stuck, and how to get it unstuck. You really want to find someone who's going to work with you to help you make the change permanent, so that you stop doing the healer hopping.
Oh, that is really a great explanation for that, because people do need to understand that.
Yeah.
Yes, that sometimes they'll just go for the healing and they think they're done, but
yes.
they're not.
You've done the healing for me. I'm good. I don't have to walk my soulful journey anymore. No.
It doesn't work that way. It helps. It definitely helps, but it's you got to get to the core. You got to get to what it is. That is so important. And I want to say who the lucky winner is, and it was Bonnie Bird. Bonnie Bird, you know how to get a hold of Jennifer. It's just her name. You guys, eventually, I'm hoping with my new web design person, we'll be able to, for everybody to see everyone's face flash and see who the winner is. I have to do it behind the scene right now because I don't know how to link it or get it up on the screen. But I will get help with that soon, and we'll be able to share it. Jennifer, how can people get a hold of you? You have a Facebook page, a phone number. I know your website. Can you kind of let people know how they can get a hold of you?
Absolutely. So actually, if they do go to my website, they can find all of the links. I've got a link tree, so you've got literally everything. That will also take you to my Facebook page, my YouTube channel, my Instagram account, my TikTok account, you name it, my MeWe account, my Rumble account. I'm kind of everywhere. But my website is probably the best place to go. But they are welcome to go to my Facebook page, which is Jennifer Passavant Holistic Healer. I find that that's a pretty well-rounded title for all the things that I offer. But that's one place to go. They can also call me at, oh God, see, I have to remember my own phone number, Sherry. No. My brain can't do this.
No,
they get it on my website. Yes.
Yeah, and they can go to www.sherrylord.com. If you want to go there, we have a link to her site. and you can see upcoming guests coming, but we will definitely have you back. We love having you. You're a beautiful teacher, channel, and healer. So we just want to thank all of our viewers that are here watching us and everyone who participated. And you have a very bright future. Thank you, Jennifer, so much for being on our show. Thank you
so much for having me. It was an honor.